Well, the Omicron variant has swept through parts of the country with record numbers of cases, and people are scrambling now to find those at-home tests. And there are growing concerns that so many workers calling in sick could cripple critical services in cities like New York. Ann Thompson has the latest.
New year, new rush for at-home COVID tests.
How are you? Happy New Year.
Cars lined up in Bethel, Connecticut for one per household. Others waited in long lines over the holiday weekend to be tested as the Omicron variant surges. While Omicron's infection may be less severe, because it spreads so fast and infects so many, it's already straining a healthcare system struggling to treat the unvaccinated.
Even if you have a less of a percentage of severity, when you have multifold more people getting infected, the net amount is you're still going to get a lot of people that are going to be needing hospitalization. And that's the reason why we're concerned about stressing and straining the hospital system.
As for the much criticized and shortened 5-day isolation period for people who test positive, Fauci says there could soon be a new requirement.
There has been some concern about why we don't ask people at that 5-day period to get tested. That is something that is now under consideration.
A nation barreling toward peak infection, suggest models from Columbia University. This week for New York City, next week for the rest of the country, with anywhere from 2.5 to 5.4 million cases during the peak.
We can just hope that it's going to be mild and that it doesn't strain our hospitals the way they were last winter.
In New York City, the virus shredding the ranks of frontline workers. 30% of emergency services employees are out. 21% of the police department, 18% of the fire department. A lack of employees impacting subway and bus services as well.
And it's a problem here too. Today, troops from the National Guard will begin assisting doctors and nurses at Eskenazi. Right now, of the 2,011 ICU beds across the state, just under 9% are available. And 37% are being used right now for COVID patients. And the Hoosier State has 2,776 ventilators across the state. Right now, 15.6% are being used to treat COVID patients. 64% are not in use. Well, school districts across the country are scrambling with classes set to restart today. Well, many districts are now responding. Atlanta, Cleveland, Newark, and others going remote for at least the beginning of January. In other cities, districts are hoping to ramp up testing instead of going remote. Delaying classes until Wednesday in D.C. and in Massachusetts, the National Guard handing out tests to families ahead of their return.
I still believe very firmly and very passionately, not only as an educator but as a parent, that our students belong in the classroom and we can do it safely. We have better tools than we had in the past to get it done. We know what works.
Well, even colleges and universities are delaying their return, with at least 70 schools going remote as the semester starts. And while the Biden administration has vowed to help increasing the supply of at-home tests, it won't come in time for many schools. Well, last week, state health leaders outlined school quarantine changes for students in the new year. And with some classes starting today, there are rules that every parent needs to know. So basically, staying in class comes down to masking up and getting vaccinated. We do have the new rules posted right now on WTHR.com. You can also check them out on the WTHR app.